about a topic that might seem a little strange to be talking about at church. Because I'm going to talk to you about sheep. And I hope it makes sense to you about why we're talking about sheep. See, I used to raise a bunch of sheep. When I was little, probably about Reese's age, maybe a little younger, 7, 8 years old, something like that. Both sets of my grandparents were farmers. My parents were farmers, and both sets of my grandparents raised sheep. And every once in a while, sheep aren't the smartest animals out there. So every once in a while, there would, a mama, which is called a ewe, would have babies, and she wouldn't be able to take care of maybe 1 or 2 of those babies. They usually only had 1. Sometimes they'd have 2. And sometimes if they had, once in a great while, they'd have 3. And sometimes if they had 2, they'd be so busy taking care of the first one that they didn't pay enough attention to the second one, and then they didn't even realize that was their baby. So it would be like it was an orphan. Just like sometimes people. You know, a lot of times people, there's little Ardenae that we prayed for. Her mommy can't take care of her for some reason, and so she lives with the Larsons. And the Larsons take care of her. So that was kind of me. I was a foster mom to these lambs. And they were little babies, so you'd have to feed them a bottle. Just like if any of you have little baby brothers or sisters or anything, just like those babies get bottles, baby lambs get bottles. And you'd have to feed them every 3 or 4 hours, just like another baby. They're very helpless. They can stand up and walk around and run around and everything, but they're pretty helpless. So that's how I started a flock of sheep. By the time I was in college, I had enough sheep that that's how I paid my way through college, is with my sheep. So I've learned a lot about them over the years. I haven't had sheep for quite a few years, but I still know a lot about them. And like I said earlier, sheep aren't the smartest animal out there. They get lost real easy. Don't know how to get home. Like if you have them in a big pasture or something, they just kind of keep wandering around looking for food. They eat grass and nice tender things. They don't eat just anything like goats will. Goats will eat just about anything out there. They'll eat paper and all kinds of stuff. Sheep are pretty picky. Are any of you picky eaters? You don't want just anything, right? That's how sheep are. They're pretty picky. And so they'll be wandering around looking for food, and before you know it, they don't even know how to come home, come to the barn at night. And if they run out of food, they could, go into the briars. They could get stuck because they've got wool on them, which is real fuzzy. Do you know what wool is? We make sweaters and coats and all those kind of things out of wool from the lambs. And they'll get stuck in the briars. They don't like to drink water unless it's clean water. Like if you had a river or a creek and it's been raining a lot, maybe some of you have a creek near you and the water runs pretty fast in it. They don't like to drink out of water that's moving. They want nice, it scares them because they get scared pretty easy. And they like to drink water that's nice and clean and just lay in there. So, for all of these reasons, you realize sheep need somebody to take care of them. Sounds like it, doesn't it? Mm-hmm. They get scared easy. They wander away, get lost, all these things. So, they need what is called a shepherd, and that's what I was. I was the shepherd that took care of these sheep because they weren't very good at doing it themselves. A lot of animals, if they get lost, they can go, a dog. If a dog gets lost, maybe he'll go find a rabbit, he'll catch a rabbit, or maybe he'll find a sandwich somebody threw out, or a garbage pile or something. they'll be able to take care of themselves. They may be out there for months, and then they get to come, somehow somebody finds them and they get back home. They may be a little skinny, but they made it.